To me, that's how good horsemanship works. You have to take into account the mental and the physical all the way through training. Training is mostly mental. I will not take a horse older than 3 to start under saddle. They have to be 2 or 3. And then, of course, they physically have to be big enough to be started. And I do have to be concerned about what I do physically with the horse that big, what I physically ask for. But there's mental things that you need to take into account too. How much their bones are closed, all that kind of thing determines how you start them. Their mental development determines when you start them. A horse needs to be started when their mental development tells you that they're ready. And by ready, that usually means they're kind of challenging the person on the ground a little bit more. Sometimes you can watch them in the pasture and they're challenging other horses a little bit more. This is actually pretty nice. And that's what determines when you start them, when you start working with them. But how much their body is developed determines how you start them. And that's something that I'm real firm on. If you work on the physical part, if all you think about is the cat's trying to come interfere again. If all you think about is the physical aspect of the horse and you want the horse to be fully mature before it started and you're not taking in the mental aspect, you've heard me talk a lot in my training how important that mental aspect is. And if that's the case, I won't take a horse from you to start. You have to consider both the physical aspect and the mental aspect when you're deciding when and how to start a horse. Mentally, they have to be at the right point to be started. And if all you're looking at is the physical aspect and you're not looking at the mental aspect from the beginning, the starting point, you're going to have lots of other issues through the training process. And because of those issues, I won't work a horse for you. So that probably just got a whole bunch of unsubscribers, but to me, that's how good horsemanship works. You have to take into account the mental and the physical all the way through training. Training is mostly mental.